this is Eleanor Keys with Manta Math, and this lesson covers Algebra 1, Chapter 1, Foundations of Algebra, Section 1-6, Multiplying and Dividing Real Numbers. Let's go. Okay, so let's discuss the signs when multiplying and dividing. So if you're multiplying a positive number by a positive number, your answer will be positive. If you're multiplying a negative number by a negative number, your answer will also be positive. If you're multiplying a positive by a negative, it will give you a negative answer. And if you're multiplying a negative by a positive, it will give you a negative answer. The same goes for division. I just put them up here for visual reasons. And if you look to the right, it has a hint. So if the signs match, positive, positive, or negative, negative, make the answer positive. If they don't, if it's positive, negative mix, then make the answer negative. It's something to just keep in mind. It's very handy. Another important note, you cannot divide by 0. So you could always do 0 divided by 7, and that equals 0. But if you put 7 divided by 0, it gives you undefined. You can check that in your calculator, and it will just give you, again, undefined. So let's do some examples. So 5 times 4. We know that from our multiplication table, and that's 20. Okay, and positive, positive, so 20 is positive. So we have a negative 11 times negative 6. So negative times negative is positive. And we know 11 times 6 is 66. Okay, 12 times negative 3. So positive 12 and negative 3 means it's going to be a negative answer. And 12 times 3 is 36. Okay, negative 7 times 5, there's a negative and a positive, so our answer is going to be negative. And then 7 times 5 is 35. And we have our fractions at the bottom, so negative 1/4 times 8/9, that's a negative times a positive, so our answer is going to be negative. And then you can just multiply across the numerator and across the denominator, and that will give you 8 over 36, and you can simplify that to negative 2/9. Okay, over to the other side. So positive 25 divided by positive 5 gives you a positive, and 25 divided by 5 is 5. Next one, negative 7 divided by negative 7. Negative times negative is a positive answer, and 7 divided by 7 is 1. Okay, then we have negative 8 divided by 4. That's a negative divided by a positive, so we know mixed again, so we're going to have a negative answer. And 8 divided by 4 is 2. Our fourth one says 9 divided by negative 3. Positive divided by negative, going to give us a negative answer. And 9 divided by 3 is 3. 10 divided by 0. And what is that? It's undefined. Okay. We can also cover simplifying square root expressions. So if you're given negative radical, or you can say negative square root 36, your answer is going to be the negative version of your square root of 36, which is 6. Okay? And then for the second example, if you're giving positive or negative square root of 25 over 49, we can simplify this to positive negative square root 25 over square root 49, and that simplifies down to positive negative 5 over 7. So in which case you have two answers here, positive 5/7 and negative 5/7. Okay, then we have another property, the inverse property of multiplication. And that says that a times 1 over a, you can cross out a's because they cancel each other out, and that equals 1. An example of this would be, let's say we're given negative 6 times negative 2 over 6, okay? And we can cross out our 6's, and negative times negative is a positive, so the answer is simply 2. Okay, there's a second version of the inverse property multiplication, and that says that a over 1 times its reciprocal, 1 over a, if you multiply across the numerator and multiply across the denominator, gives you a over a, which simplifies to 1. So an example of this would be if we had negative 6 over 1 times 2 over negative 6. Okay, this equals negative 12 over negative 6, and that simplifies to a 2. Okay, so earlier I mentioned reciprocals, and that just means if you have A divided by B, then the reciprocal is B over A. So an example would be, say we're given 2/3 over another fraction, 4/5. Okay, this could be simplified to 2/3 divided by 4/5, just another way of writing it. And we can change that to multiplying by the reciprocal of our 4/5. Okay, so that gives us 5/4. And then we simply just want to multiply across the denominator and the numerator, and we have 10 over 12, which can simplify to 5/6. I hope you enjoyed this video. You can find more lessons by clicking on the videos at the right of your screen. And if you have any math-related questions, feel free to email me at eleanor@mantamath.com. I'll be happy to answer them for you. See you then.